Hey up everyone, I'm back again. So on my travels I managed to pick up a Lumia 930, which is a flagship phone from Nokia, which supersedes the 925 and the 1520 as being Nokia's 2014 flagship. But it does have actually the same specs roughly as the 1520, only that it comes in a more manageable size. So I was particularly interested to see what this phone had to offer, because I felt that the 6-inch 1520 could be considered a bit cumbersome. But I have to say that my initial impressions of the device are very positive. It has a very solid look about it. It's made primarily of kind of hard touch plastic material, similar to the Nexus 5. In fact, it feels a lot like the Nexus 5 in terms of the material, but it's a bit bigger in the hand and less rounded than the Nexus 5. It has more of a square kind of form factor. It is quite chunky and quite a bit to get your thumb around, but you do get used to the size. It's got its 20 megapixel camera on the back, which is a Carl Zeiss lens, Pure View branded. So I think it's the same one as the one in the 1520, which is a very capable shooter, I've heard. The speakers on the bottom, which is quite small, not really expecting much out of it, but we'll see how it fares. The micro USB is on the bottom, which is nice. It's got a headphone jack at the top, which is standard. It's got a physical shutter on the side, as well as the volume rocker and power button, so nice easy access to the buttons. Yeah, you know, I think that the form factor probably isn't as premium as the 925 in my opinion. I think the 925 is still the nicest looking Windows device, but it is still, you know, a very nice looking device, very professional, and will certainly fit in with kind of like a professional setting. When you turn on the display, you're greeted with a nice full HD display, which is of the AMOLED type. The display comes in at quite a high resolution of 441 ppi, which is actually the highest ever for a Nokia Lumia device apparently. It also contains Nokia's clear black technology, which means that the blacks are very black. You don't see like the side blackness coming out or anything. When you look at it from the sides, it kind of just melts into the display, which is very nice. The viewing angles are, you know, completely fine. There's no issues there. I'd say that the brightness is very good as well outdoors in my testing. It looks very easy to view everything, and it's just a fantastic display. I think it's definitely one of the strong points of the device. Nokia have certainly done well with it. Some people have been saying that the display has a bit of a purplish hue to it, but Nokia have said that if you do adjust the colour profiles in the settings, then that can get rid of that. But I've not had any issues with the purple hue or anything on the display. I think it's calibrated very nicely, and the colours look accurate, and just a nice display really. In regards to the actual performance of the device, you're getting quite a nice package. You're getting 2 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 800, clocked at about 2.2 gigahertz. You're getting 32 gigs internal storage, but no micro SD unfortunately. So This type of package for Windows Phone ensures that the device is very fast at doing things. You won't find any lag or performance issues on the device in my testing. I've yet to actually slow it down really. Pages load up very quickly indeed, and you can quickly go back to what you were doing thanks to the premium processor, because I am coming from primarily a 925, which you know, is getting on now a bit in terms of its dual core Snapdragon S4. So I certainly do notice the performance improvements on the device. That processor certainly comes in handy when you want to do more demanding things on the device, such as you know, your maps navigation, which is an absolute pleasure to use, coupled with the big screen. Everything just loads very quickly, and you know, there's very little in the way of lag. It also helps when it comes to using the multitasking functionality on Windows Phone. You can quickly, you know, dive into something else that you were doing, which makes the experience that much more fluid and just really nice to use. I've not really used a 1520, so I'm not really used to these speeds, but I can certainly appreciate it, and I hope that Nokia continue to put out some excellent processors in their top-end phones. But yeah, you know, you're not going to have any issues whatsoever with the performance on the device, and the efficiency of the Snapdragon 800 will certainly help when it comes to battery life. In regards to actual battery life, I found it to be decent. It's much better than what it was on the 925 or the 920 or even the 1020, but it's not up there with I'd say the Galaxy S5 and the you know, HTC One M8. I'd say that it's a bit below those, particularly with the excellent power saving modes, but still I think that it should get most people through a day relatively easy, even using it heavily with auto sync on, brightness on auto. You shouldn't really need to have the brightness on too bright, to be honest, because it's a very bright screen anyway, and you do get something called a battery saver app, which gives you the ability to look at what's using your battery, which is very nice. You can also put on battery saver, which switches off things such as live tile functionality to stop the battery being used when it doesn't need to be. That will extend your battery life even more, but I've not found that I've actually needed to put that on in my own usage of it, and I've been using it since yesterday. Roughly I got it midday and used it heavily yesterday and quite heavily today, and I'm getting a bit low now. It's on 12%, but I think it should last me through this video, so I've not got much concerns in regards to the battery life. It is a 2400 mAh in there, which is okay, I guess. You do also get, with the unlocked version of the 930, get a nice charging pad, which is nice. Oh, it's coming up with battery issues now, but if you put it on the charging pad, you can give it some juice when you are in the office or something. It certainly makes it a nice package really, than just having a standard USB charger. I think you only get that though with the unlocked version of the 930, which is what I've got. If you get it on a carrier, you might not get that included. And I have to say as well that the box is quite basic. I was expecting it to be a little bit more flashy, since it is you know, Nokia's flagship device. I think it's a bit boorish, kind of like Samsung's wooden boxes, but you know, I think that they do need to make their box look a bit more appealing. Yeah, you know, the charging facility via wireless is very nice indeed, and that was something I missed on the 925. In regards to the camera, as I said, is a 20 megapixel camera, which is a Carl Zeiss lens. It's got the excellent Nokia camera app on there. If I click on the right icon, it's that one. I found that performance of the camera is improved from the 925, 920 days. Obviously, it's not going to be up there with the 1020, which is like you know, a dedicated shooter. But it does come with all the nice stuff that you're used to on Nokia's Lumia devices, such as control of the white balance, ISO, etc. You do also get the ability to put on different lenses, such as Bing Vision, as well as some lenses from apps that you may download. Just focusing and taking a picture is very quick. It's no problems there whatsoever. It also supports lossless zoom, which is very nice, so that when you're doing a video recording, it can it doesn't seem to lose much detail when you're zooming in. It takes the picture, I think, in a 16 megapixel and 5 megapixel configuration, so that if you want to upload something to an app quite quickly, you can use the 5 megapixel version. I found that the actual shots that it does take are very nice indeed, and very high in detail. They have accurate exposure and colours, and there's very little traces of like noise or kind of blurring or anything. In some of the shots, I did notice that the light tends to kind of stream into the photo a bit at the top. There's a bit of light bleed, but that didn't happen very often. That was probably me just taking the picture and being a bit of an amateur. I found that, you know, in most settings it was an absolutely fantastic shooter to have on me, and something that I'd have confidence in having, you know, taking a decent shot when I needed it. I'd say that the lenses functionality also give you a nice ability to take some nice macro shots, such as the close-up mode, very nice for taking shots of flowers, etc. As well as you can use the lenses for cinematograph, panorama, as well as a refocus lens. You can download all that actually from the lenses interface if you want to really edit your pictures to make them look even nicer. You can also set the 930 to actually output raw images, which is nice if you want to do some advanced processing of the images. Yeah, you know, ultimately this is a fantastic camera phone, which easily sits alongside the Galaxy S5, LG G3, etc. I think it's very difficult to spot any real differences in terms of quality until you start going into difficult environments to take good pictures. For video recording, I found it to be, again, very excellent. Unfortunately, there's no 4K ability, which would have been nice for future proofing, or 60 frames per second full HD. That would have been nice as well, but they don't exist, unfortunately. But you do get fantastic full HD at 30 frames per second. You can have it at lower frames per second if you wish. The bit rate is 19 megabits per second as well, which enhances the smoothness of it. So I think that it's comparable to some of the higher end handsets such as the Galaxy S5, etc. in terms of its full HD. I've not really noticed too much of a difference. So the Windows Phone 8.1 operating system comes installed on the device, which I've found to host a whole load of new improvements from Windows Phone 8, including the notification center, the constantly on status indicators at the top, which is very nice, and soon the UK will be getting Cortana as well. The Americans have had that for quite a while, and it's been praised for being quite a decent assistant application compared to Siri and S-Voice. So I'm looking forward to that coming onto the device. But you'll get the same very smooth operating system that you're used to on the Lumia 930, which you know, is very elegant in the way that it opens up stuff. It's known for being quite a very nice looking operating system. However, there are some times when you think that some of the animations are a bit much, and you just want to kind of dive into the device and do something. And that's when you start to think about the Nexus 5 or the HTC One, where there's very little animation. It's just bam, you're into an application. So I think Windows Phone 8.1 has improved that somewhat though, and waiting times for applications to load has decreased. For example, if you want to look at the news, I remember that you used to have to wait quite a lot, but it seems to be a lot quicker now, and that's the same as actually on the Windows 8.1 on the PC. I remember that apps were very slow to load, but I think Microsoft are actually getting with it now and really optimizing the device and making the experience a lot quicker and enjoyable. Nokia obviously does bake into the device its own applications as well, which are very welcome, such as Here Drive and Here Maps, which I've just showed you maps before. There's also this health and fitness app, which is provided by Bing, so you can track your carbs and keep track of your diet if you're into that kind of stuff. There's no heart rate scanner though, like the Galaxy S5, so it probably doesn't go as in depth as that. But you do get some other things on there, such as Wi-Fi sense and data sense, so you can keep track of what you're connecting to as well as the amount of data that you're using. I do like the way they've improved the battery statistics as well, which was a bit rubbish on older versions of Windows Phone. In that it only showed you like a chart as to like what your battery has been performing, but now you can actually see like itemized statistics on what is using your battery, and as you can see, I've got quite a lot of battery usage from Internet Explorer and the camera. I did actually just give the device a charge when I was using the camera, just to make sure that it didn't go critical or anything. But yeah, I do like the way that statistics have improved on the Windows Phone 8.1 update. Like the other Nokia devices, you also get your Nokia Creative Studio, Nokia Mix Radio, which is very good for people who like music. You do get Office as well, very good if you're into the Microsoft ecosystem. You can use OneNote and OneDrive as well to sync things quickly and access them on your PC. So I think that the software suite's very nice with the device, and I think I've not really had too many issues in regards to missing applications that I'd find on Android. But I'm not really that big of an app person anyway. As long as I've got my main stuff, such as eBay, Amazon, etc., then I'm happy. But just be aware that the App Store isn't as developed as Android or iOS if you are coming from those ecosystems. Yeah, the software, in my opinion, is it just works, and it's very attractive anyway. It just looks very simple to use and intuitive, and I think it will definitely work for most people. I think one of the best apps that Nokia includes on its Lumia devices is its music player app, which at first I was wondering what happened with it. I thought they'd removed it, but it seems that they've integrated it into the Mix Radio app, which encourages you to create your own kind of radio. I've not really had much of a play around with that particular functionality of it, but in regards to actually using it to listen to music, I found it to be a typically excellent experience. The sound sounds fantastic through the headphones, and you do get the ability to customize the sound as well, using a whole load of different equalizer settings. You can leave it on custom, or you can put the bass up, etc. So there's a whole load of different profiles there. You can also put on some of the Dolby stuff, something called Dolby Virtual Sound, which I have to say, when I listen to it through the headphones, it does make it seem more kind of surround sound. Don't know how they do it, but it's certainly an excellent addition. You also have Dolby audio leveling, which provides more consistent playback volume for all music on your playlist. You've got dialogue enhancer if you like listening to what people are saying in the songs. So some really nice stuff there that Nokia have done for the music app, and it certainly improves the experience. Just in general, the whole interface is very attractive and fun to use. So definitely an excellent music player. In regards to the actual main features of the phone, such as it being able to make calls and the day-to-day usage of it, I found that the call quality is quite decent on it. It's traditional in regards to Nokia, putting out good call quality and good reception. I've not had any issues with reception on the device. It seems to be quite strong, even when I'm in the gym, for example. Usually I wouldn't get any reception on my G2 in certain areas, but I did notice that this was able to still continue syncing and get text through, which was very good. It comes with 4G, obviously, LTE, the latest Bluetooth technology, NFC, etc., which is all very nice. It is strange in that it doesn't follow the Lumia 630's recent trend of having the buttons on the screen, which I think that should be probably the way in which Windows Phone goes, so that you can really maximize the screen real estate. So the buttons still are on the edge of the bezel, but yeah, I've not had any issues with it in regards to the actual call quality or the sound quality through the speaker. No hissing or anything, and I would also like it if they reverted back to the more aluminium feel of the 925. Don't get me wrong, it does feel very solid and nice in the hand, this particular device, but I still think that the 925 is a more attractive device, and even though it is obviously inferior in terms of specifications, I still may keep the 925 simply because I just love the cold aluminium feel of it. So in terms of the actual overall experience, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10, which I don't really usually do review scores, but that's how I feel about it. I think that it's fantastic device, and Nokia have done really well with it. Yeah, that's been a review of the Lumia 930. I hope you found it informative, and if you did, please subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos shortly. Cheers.